Hey guys, welcome back. We are used to be Garage Gamers, still unnamed video, but we talk about video games. I am Icecube and
Zorbz
is right next to me. How you been, Zorbz? Good?
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, been playing good stuff? Yep. Enthusiastic as ever.
I've been playing some old stuff. I just finished Final Fantasy 15, which I actually love. So.
You poor man. We see all sympathise with you, but that's okay. Hope for better days ahead for you. We today are going to be reviewing Detroit Become Human.
Now, which I have not played at all.
No, this time I got the pleasure of reviewing it, so I get to see the ins and outs of this game, which was produced by Quantic Dream. I think that's it. I always get mixed up Quantum Break and
David Cage.
Yeah. Look, a little bit of a quick disclaimer to summarise. This game, after finishing it, was an absolute masterpiece.
Well, what?
Absolute
they don't
masterpiece.
need to listen to this video now.
No.
They know your review.
No. I'm happy to say that because now they're going to be like, what? Really? Why? And now I'm going to go through why.
Half the people have turned it off.
Half the people have
They're like, masterpiece, good, I'm going to buy it.
That's fine, I'm happy with that. If you don't want to watch the rest of this, that's fine. But I promise you, it's going to be at least mildly entertaining.
I want to know why, because I've not played it.
Be like him. So, it's about the future. Androids have come in. We've kind of heard this plot before. It's 3 characters that you play.
It's based off iRobot.
Well, as is, I guess there is a running theme there.
I was joking about that.
Well, look, it's not a very original concept. I mean, as a concept, it has been done before in books and movies.
RoboCop.
Androids, anything with an android in it is pretty similar. But what this does so well is just a magnificent story. A bit of a quick synopsis of the story. You play as 3 different characters I was getting to before. You've got Marcus, who's an android police detective.
RoboCop.
You've got Marcus, who is
you just said Marcus.
Connor. Oh, I meant to say Connor was the Connor is the policeman. Marcus is the android. He plays a bit of a revolutionary. I won't go into too much more detail than that.
Is he a robot?
He's an android.
Okay.
Yep. These are all androids. So you only play as androids. And Kara. She's like, I guess she starts off as a bit of a housemaid character, but ends up playing.
Is that Jennifer Lawrence who plays her?
You know what? I think it's a lookalike, but I'm not
her.
sure. I didn't check that one before the review, but either way, it looks a bit like her, and I think they kind of go for those types of girls. I think
Ellen Page
looks kind of similar. But anyway, I wasn't when I first looked at the box. I go, these characters look a bit rubbish, but once I started, I was like instantly engrossed. Now, the first thing we'll go into is the basic premise of how it plays out as a structure of a game. Very similar to Beyond Two Souls, the previous game. What was the horror game again? The teen slasher horror that I think these guys
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn.
They didn't do that.
Didn't they do that?
No.
I thought they did that. Okay. So Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain were the 2 big ones. Now I've played all 3. I was a big fan of Beyond Two Souls, but I swear...
Which is an odd choice because everyone hates that game.
I don't know why they hate it. Why do they hate it? It's another topic
Apparently
for another day.
It's poorly paced and it's just chopped all over the place.
And
they hate her Ghost Boy.
Hate her Ghost Boy, the little ghost thing. Okay, whatever. A lot of people loved it too. I guess it's niche, but regardless of what you thought of it, this is just absolutely unbelievable. Every scene that I played was just so super engaging from the minute you start to the minute you finish. The gameplay kind of works in a kind of similar-ish kind of way. Like the scene evolves, you can move around, but if you want to interact with something, you can use the control stick to do so.
You talk about in the gameplay section. You're just telling us.
Am I jumping to the gameplay section?
Yeah, you're coming through. Give us a general overview.
I'm trying to describe, get a picture in their head as to how the game is actually kind of structured as a whole, and that's the kind of top line synopsis. The gameplay I'll go much deeper into when I get to the gameplay, so all's good. But I just want you to know basically that in terms of the previous games that they've done, relatively the same kind of premise.
Is it point and click? Not literally with a mouse, but you know what I mean.
Not with a mouse, but if you mean by point and click, you mean of the same style.
You know, you're in an environment. You got to go look for things in that environment. And
yes, it is.
Piece things together.
Yes, it is. But they kind of incorporated elements from things like L.A. Noire, and some of the Batman games where you have to kind of do a little bit of detective work at times depending on the character you're playing. It also includes a lot of quick time events, a lot of action scenes, and the action scenes also kind of quick time events. But and also you got the freedom to kind of move around and interact with things and make choices. And choice is the big thing about this game, Zorbz. They were using it as their selling point of all the multiple paths you can go. What they do with this game is really focus on that, because that's been a bit of a gripe in the past. It felt like it was too linear, like you couldn't really see how many different paths you could go. This one, every time you do a scene, it shows you. It shows you every choice you made and every time your path diverted. Now, some of the scenes you do, you can see there's not a huge amount of variation you could have gone. But sometimes you get scenes that are just like, have this topple effect where it's just, you take one path and it branches up here. Or if you took another path, it would go down here. Other ones go up and down, and there's all sorts of things. And it actually identifies how each choice you made or each action you did affected the path that you were going to go. So, but as I was looking through it, by the end, I was really curious to see, oh man, so if I did that, I would have had all this different story to unlock and see. And
so it gives you a good reason to play again.
It does, yeah. And I think that clarity is a good thing. You could argue, some people go, oh, well, I like the mystery of it, but there's something about that clarity, and it makes you really understand very clearly how much your decisions were impacting the direction of the game. And I've seen scenes since finishing the game. It's like, oh, I didn't even see that. I don't even know what that is. It's like, and even in the end credits, they showed a few scenes. Like, what was that? I didn't know what that was. I had a very satisfactory ending. I was quite pleased with the way that my story went, and there were some regrets I made along the way. There was some failed moments where I just didn't do the quick time or something, and it resulted in a bad thing. I was like, damn. And sometimes I made some stupid mistakes, but I stuck with it because I was curious to know where that would then take me afterwards. Again, just going back to the story writing in this game is by far the best story that Quantic Dream have ever done by a long shot. It is, in my opinion, up there with the best of Telltale, which I put as the standard for storytelling in story writing in video games. It blew me away. It caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was.
Are the characters likable?
Yes. They had a little review, a little survey at the end in terms of which character was your favourite, and there was already some big numbers up there, and everyone seemed to choose Marcus. But Marcus was my least favourite. I probably loved Connor the most, and Kara. They were kind of up there for my two favourites. But a lot of I think Marcus is kind of put in the game as probably the designed main character. You may not feel it at first, but by the end, you kind of certainly feel it.
I've just seen so much of Connor that I always just assumed he was the main one.
Yeah, well, they are relatively equal. Like it'll switch from each scene to the next. But the thing about each of these scenes is that every single one is so intense. It's not just some point and click, just wandering about thing. There's a couple of scenes at the beginning where it's a little bit slow and you kind of wonder a little bit, okay. But that's just the character building. They're setting a scene. After the beginning bit's done, it just, every scene one after the next. I can't put it down. I was playing at night, late at night, every night, and I'd just do, okay, one more scene. And I'd finish that one, and it's like, I have to find out what happens next scene. And it would just get you right in every time. It was just, there wasn't a wasted moment. And I think what you were saying before about Beyond Two Souls, I really like Beyond Two Souls. I thought there's a lot of, but it wasn't perfect. I admit it wasn't perfect. But this one, it's not fragmented like Beyond Two Souls was. Some moments of the Beyond Two Souls story was a bit weak. Some were strong, but some were a bit weak. Yep. Some was a bit fragmented. This one is just consistent. You just want to go from one thing to the next, and like I said,
and that was just your storyline, because there was all those other choices that you could have gone. So.
And there were things like some really key things, like sometimes you leave people behind, and then and they would get maybe caught by police, and then maybe they were gonna die and not tell them something, or maybe they would live and they'd be interrogated and reveal something, and that would again alter the plot. There's so many alterations, and you really fear for the life of these characters. Like they get you that good. They really win that well.
They get you.
They do get you. They absolutely get you.
So get.
So I honestly, I've just got memories from all these scenes in this game that will just literally stick with me forever. It's that impressive.
He'll tell his grandkids of this.
I'll tell my grandkids of this. And also, there's a range of emotions. There's bits that you'll find yourself laughing at, and there's bits that you just be like, it's like a horror game. You just get terrified. It's super. And all the way through, there's just this tense feeling to it. Like you're always on your guard, you know.
So if I didn't play Heavy Rain and I didn't play Beyond Two Souls, but I did love Until Dawn. So if I liked Until Dawn, will I like this?
Well, ironically, Until Dawn's the only one I didn't play. So,
oh goddamn.
So, but look, I've got no doubt in my mind that the way that this game was done was so surprisingly good that, I mean, I know Until Dawn was good.
If I like Telltale games, will I like this game?
Definitely.
Okay,
100%. It's like the best of Telltale's writing, with more directions to divert the story to, and incredibly amazing graphics. Here comes a segue. So the graphics of the game. It's look, I mean, if you've played Beyond Two Souls or even Heavy Rain for its time, the graphics were absolutely mind-blowing for its time. The areas are quite enclosed. It still has a relatively linearish feeling because there's only certain amounts of space you can run around in. However, just visually, like the facial effects are just astounding. Lip movements, body movements, it's all been like motion captured down to a T.
I think, just to cut you, that linear feeling is probably better because it keeps a story flowing. Yeah, because I feel like when you've got too much of an open world, you can get distracted from the story, and then it's sort of diluted a bit.
See, in the previous games, like Beyond Two Souls, there were scenes like where you had these powers as Ellen Page, and you could interact with things to, you know. I remember there was one scene where she was at a party and she was terrifying her friends because her powers were kicking in and she was trying to get revenge or something. But ultimately, to what end was it to I mean, maybe you upset them, maybe you don't upset them, but ultimately, who gave a crap? Here it's just like, so I'm kind of going off the topic a bit, but here it's just like, everything you do really affects what you're able to do afterwards. But back to graphics. Yeah, look, it's really top tier graphics, and it's just they've always been ahead of the game. Quantic Dream.
You're going to say Quantum Break.
I keep got Quantum Theory. That's the other game on PS3. Like, anyway, I can't say anything bad about the graphics. It's
frame rate and stuff like that. Is it stutter? Do you see any clipping or screen tearing or?
Very minimal. I think that occasionally you might find a little hiccup when it's kind of transitioning from what you've done and what you haven't done. There's so many pieces. It puts pieces of scenes together, and it's kind of segueing between the pieces. So if
you'll notice a bit of a transition when there's a choice to be made, and it has to trigger.
But it's almost don't get me wrong. It's basically super flawless. It transitions. Seamless. It'd be a very rare moment if you saw a bit of a hiccup in between scenes.
But you're playing it on the Pro, right?
I am, yeah, but I don't think that'll make a difference.
Okay.
So
we'll just make that clear, though. He's playing it on the Pro. So if you play it on the Standard and it slows down a lot, it's not our problem.
I don't think it'll matter. Like, I don't think that two different consoles. But I don't know. Maybe it will. Who knows? But yeah, I played on the Pro if that counts for anything. Which brings us to the gameplay. Should we talk about the gameplay? So
I think you've already spoken about the gameplay.
Well, yeah. There's basically you walk around, you interact with certain elements of the game. Sometimes you might have to find certain things, and that can be brought up later on. There's a lot of conversations and conversational choices. Sometimes if you find something or do something earlier, in fact, this happened all the time in the game. When you do certain things, it doesn't just affect you later in that scene. It affects you like way down the track later in the game. There were certain things that you have to take gambles on, and you're just like, oh, I don't know if this is going to go down well, but I'll try it. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But the majority of the game there's a lot of kind of quick time events, conversation choices. They keep you engaged in the kind of the more drawn out scenes where they have to kind of convey something, and by putting up little button movements and stuff. Usually they like to use the right stick quite a bit. And do kind of twist them in interesting ways that they're kind of like, I don't know. They even use the touchpad on the controller sometimes, like if you're playing the piano or for whatever reason. But yeah, that's basically the primary premise of the gameplay. It works though. It sounds a little bit limited.
So it is a crime drama type story.
It's a crime. It is. Well, look, there's 3 different stories, and they all have their own paths, but they're very clever because they all intertwine in very logical, feasible ways. Sometimes you play out certain scenes where they cross paths and they don't even really know each other. In fact, they don't even know each other the whole game. I won't go into any more detail on that to avoid spoilers. But they do cross paths in certain scenes, and it will, as this whole scene plays out of all this activity going on, you'll kind of interchange between each of the characters as it's all happening at the same time, and it's chaotic madness, but it's fun. It's just so intense. Like it's really an intense, gripping game that just keeps you.
Far out. Now it's another game that I have to go and bloody buy.
And this is it. Like, by the way, thank you, Migsy. I stole her review copy to do this review. So I recommend that she picks it up as well. But yeah, I kind of picked it up just out of curiosity. I kind of thought the trailers were kind of, oh, this is kind of interesting. I want to see more. So I kind of got in with mid-tier expectations and walked out absolutely mind blown. So Sony's killing it with these releases this year. I mean, I haven't played God of War this year, but I've seen the reviews. And this thing here is honestly one of the best things I've played on the PS4. That's really, and I you know me, I shit on every game. Like,
yeah, I thought you were going to shit on this too.
I know, right? So it's really weird to hear me say this. So if I say it's good, it has to be good.
I don't know. You've said some crap is good.
No way. I'm like the gospel. So.
What about sound design? How's the voice acting?
Yeah, so the sound, the voice acting is amazing. It's
all characters.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
One of the things I really like. When I looked at Connor, the police character on the box art, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to like this guy very much. But something about his voice actor really suits his android appearance, and instantly just hearing his voice, I just like him straight away.
Okay.
And also some of the you engage with a lot of NPCs in this game, and playing this game has uncovered some of my favorite characters in gaming already. Not just the playable ones, like I said before, like Connor and Kara a lot, but there's I forgot the name of the police detective that Connor works with, but I think he's my new favorite character in gaming. He's like this drunkard bum. He's like fed up with life. He hates androids, but he's awesome. He's so good. Literally, just some of the. I literally like every character. I didn't know if I liked Marcus that much at first, but by the end I was kind of like, all right, yeah, I get him. He's all right. So yeah, and all that's partly because of how amazing the visual facial capture is, followed by.
It's all cinematic, genuine, right?
Very cinematic, but it's also it's highly interactive. So you never feel like you're just sitting there going, "All right, just put the controller down, just watch this for 10 minutes." It's never like that. You have to be on your guard the whole time.
That's how Until Dawn was. You didn't want to put the controller down because anytime you did that, a quick time event could pop up that really can drastically affect the story. So.
Yeah, and I think Until Dawn was kind of selling the whole idea of multiple paths and stuff.
Well, that was mainly the paths were based on if someone was going to get killed or not. You know?
Yeah, so this is a bit of a different premise. And look, there are certainly ways that you can cut your story short here. Sometimes you can end up in a situation where you've actually maybe permadeathed one of the characters and you have to kind of carry on with the other two. I don't think that's going to happen to you early in the game, but maybe towards the end, it's quite a possibility if you make certain choices. That's
getting a bit too spoilery there.
I'm just saying, be careful. Just be careful. Well, they've got to expect that, right? You don't want your character to die. So, but it's a good thing. And what else are we talking about? Sounds. Music. I mean, the music's fantastic, and they got a whole soundtrack that you can.
Music's fantastic.
Yeah.
Whoa!
There goes our lighting equipment.
That's how fantastic it was.
It's a great video.
I think that just made everything brighter anyway. It did us a favour.
Maybe. Yeah, so, I mean, the music in Beyond Two Souls was fantastic, and it's fantastic again now. They put a lot of effort into setting scenes with the music. They got, adrenaline when the action's kicking in, and really, really great authentic kind of somber music when things get really bit. There's a lot of heartfelt stuff going.
Yeah, emotional
but
stuff.
It's cool. It's good, and they're proud of their soundtrack. You can unlock all the songs using the points you unlock. It's also worth noting, before I forget, they've got this amazing user interface when you open up the game. It's there's not really spoilers here. Everyone can see this, and it's not giving away anything of the story. But there's this android that is right there. Her face is right up on the screen, and there's very simple, straightforward, options, play game stuff at the bottom. And she talks to you. And every time you turn on the game, or you quit the game to go back to the menu, she's got something different to say to you. But it's not just kind of random stuff. It's very specific stuff. Like, I put it on Friday night. I played the game on Friday night. I turned it on, and she was like, "Hi there, welcome back. It's really great to have you to start the weekend playing Detroit." I'm like, "How did you know it was the weekend?" So she knew it was a Friday.
She's like, "It's Christmas. What are you doing playing this?"
That's right. Yeah, but there were certain other things as well. She asked you to take part in surveys, and she gets a bit deep and meaningful with you, and it's all very a little bit to Google Assistant.
You can't even talk back.
When she asks you a question, a little choice will appear. Okay. But it's an interactive menu. Yeah, it's genius, and it adds to the game. I almost just look forward to pushing the start button just so I can see what she had to say. Yeah. So just another
Screw online dating. Get Detroit.
So that's another little nicety which I thought was worth noting as well.
She's seeing a lot of other people.
A lot of other androids?
No, just a lot of other people playing the game.
True. So engaging with them as well. Well, not yet anyway. There will be soon. When the game comes out later this week or maybe next week.
Is it 25th? Because it's on the Friday, I think.
Depends when this video comes out. Or maybe people might be watching this video retrospectively. Anyway. And so what are you up to? There's no multiplayer. Not a multiplayer game. Who cares? Good. Whatever. So skip over that. And awesomeness. Awesomeness.
Your favourite category.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have to do the awesomeness disclaimer. The awesomeness disclaimer is it's the game. It's like when there's a game that like it ticks every box previously, but it's still a crap game. We'd give it a low awesomeness score. But what if it's a crap? It's not very good graphics, not very good sound, but it's an awesome game. We'll give it a high score. So, look for this game. Awesomeness. I'm not going to give it a score over the video, but I will say it's an awesome game because it's given me so many fun memories that I'm going to take with me forever. It affected me. It affected my soul. It really dug deep, and I think it's going to dig deep with most people who play it. At the same time, I don't think it's necessarily a game for everyone. I think...
those people who just play online shooters are not going to have fun with it.
Well, I know, but I think if they open their mind a little bit...
Well, that's not going to happen. Yeah, because that's why they're still playing online shooters. Over and over and over.
But look, I would still recommend they give it a go and see how they go with it because, I mean, it really is just... It's an amazing experience. It's like...
You've got to probably take it as this is part game, part movie. As opposed to just...
I know, but I'll tell you what, I was thinking about it. It's like, if I was just watching this as a film, this would be one of the best films I've ever seen.
Exactly, so that's why you got to keep your expectations that it isn't just like gameplay, because I'm sure there's not much, interaction and fighting and stuff like that. But
and... Sorry, just get rid of this little thing on the screen. So, I mean, it'd just be a real shame, like, because, I mean, obviously it's not like a massive shooter, but when you go in there, I mean, sometimes people with these games, they got gripe with the fact that they can't just run and gun and just play like an arcade sort of thing, and so they got issues with the fact that they don't have like freedom to explore like massive open world areas and just run around and do whatever they want. It's not that type of game, and it doesn't have to be that type of game. Why should it have to be that type of game? It's what it is, and what it's done is mastered this genre now to perfection in terms of where we are in the technology world right now. I mean, I'm sure they can take this to the next step and make an even better game when technology and stuff improves and, I guess budgets increase and time gets extended, etc., etc. But for where it is right now, this was a huge, pleasant surprise for me. Like, and I put it this way, I've got the review copy. I'm going to go and buy this retail copy, so I've got a physical copy in my hand since I can put it in my collection forever. It was that good. which is kind of like kept bringing to my final thoughts of the game. So, do I score it in this video? I don't know. Do we score it? Put scores.
Oh well, you're doing a written review, so if you want to look at the score, check out his written review.
Yeah, and I'll go into a bit more detail and break it down. This is a bit of a kind of summary. There's certain things you may want to know about.
I mean, we shouldn't have even done a video, but he doesn't want to shut up about it, so you know.
Yeah, so that's saying something.
But it's showing that he really enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I know, right? And anyone who's seen these videos before will know how negative I am about everything.
That makes me want to play it, because normally you're just like, that sucks.
Sucks, right?
So many sequels.
And if you've seen it before, then you too should get pretty excited.
And it's not a sequel; it's a new IP, so he's happy.
It is, yes. It's a new IP, and look, they just took this idea and they executed it really well. They just executed it really well. You know, whatever gripes you had before about the previous games, I think you'd be really hard pressed to pick on for now. Like, I don't understand how anyone who plays this game can just put it down and go, oh, nah. It's because if you're playing it, like, it'd baffle me. It just baffle me if you don't respect this game for what it achieves. It really would. So, I don't know, I'll be curious to see what the other reviews are like coming out, but if they don't get high scores here, I'll be like, well, I give up on life. What more do you have to do? Like,
I mean, he loves it so much, I think I said like 5 words.
I know, right? Yeah. Do you have any more?
No,
throw them my way.
I didn't need to ask the questions, you just had all the answers.
Yeah,
so
I was
good.
Blah, 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 I was rapping on about it.
But, but it makes me want to play it, because I tried to keep, you know, as they say, radio silent. I didn't want to... see any footage and stuff. I just saw a brief original trailer. I didn't want to watch all the other ones, because those very dialogue heavy story driven games, what's the point of watching a trailer that reveals stuff anyway?
Yeah, well, that's very true, because the only full trailer I saw was the first Connor one, which was the reveal one, and I go, oh, that looks surprisingly engaging, that could have potential. And then I just saw snippets of a Kara scene and snippets of a Marcus scene, and but it was enough. Those snippets were just enough for me to know kind of where they were going. Yeah. And I was really worried when I was playing the early bits, like, I know where this is going, but I didn't.
All right, good.
And there was so much more.
Yeah.
So much more. But it's range of emotions you playing this game. I can't recommend it enough. Get stuck into it. Even if you're like a really boring COD gamer, you don't play anything else, don't buy that stuff.
No, who plays COD now? They just all play Fortnite.
Yeah, well, the kids play Fortnite. Between Fortnite and PUBG, there's the loyalists, the casual gamers who just still buy COD on default.
What about Overwatch? Is that too?
Yeah,
Paladins,
I think
all those things.
Paladins isn't as popular. Overwatch isn't quite as popular as it was. It's still popular, but not as. Anyway. So anyway, thank you for watching this review. Do check out the written one. I'll give a full review synopsis on there when I can get that online, when the embargo reaches. I am Icecubes, and
Zorbz
is right here. Very quiet Zorbz today.
Yeah, because my review is going to come next.
He's just mesmerised in everything I was saying.
I have not played this game. I have nothing to really go on.
Yeah, that doesn't stop me from ruining all over your reviews whenever you're
doing it.
Which I'm about to do right now for the next review. Thank you for joining us. I hope you try this game. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. We will see you next time.
Bye.